Hola chica, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I figured why not share with you a simple software tutorial of a software that I feel like a lot of you probably already use or you know at least a little bit about, or maybe this is your first time hearing it and you're in for a treat. So today's tutorial is all about Canva. I'm going to walk through a little screen recording showing you the basic functions of Canva and why the heck this even matters for your online business platform. So Canva is an amazing, easy tool to use, but sometimes like anything else, it does have learning curves. So I'm going to show you how to make a YouTube thumbnail. I'm going to show you how to make a blog post, a Pinterest pin, and also Instagram graphics. So without further ado, let's dive in. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in so we can get this tutorial going. As you can see, there is so much you can do with Canva. But as for today, I'm going to walk through the basic layout of Canva, what each of the functions mean, and obviously how you can add images from Canva or bring in your own images to create your content. So you'll be able to go here once you create designs and see all your designs. So as you see, I have tons of different designs, different types of designs. Look here, this was a blog post cover photo. I actually change out the photo here and will just basically keep the layout the same for all my blog posts because I want it to be consistent. So this is an example of a size of image that can be great for blog posts as like the main thumbnail image. And you can actually create your own custom sizes. And I can even go here and resize this if I wanted to be something different later on. But for now, this is the size that I chose, which is actually the YouTube thumbnail template. So the YouTube thumbnail also worked really well with my blog post thumbnails that you see when you see the blog post online and there's a little image. That's what this is going to be. So I love using it for that function. And as you can see here, there are tons of different already pre-made custom designs that you can just literally click and it goes right on it. And you can change up the colors. Sometimes there's a few little functions or images that they do not let you take out. So let's say here I wanted to change the color of this text and even the font I can do. I just go to the color wheel or even go here and add my own custom color. So this is that pink shade that's in all my content. I've literally memorized the code because I use it so much. But you can change it to be whatever you want, different text, font, and just whatever fits your branding. And what's great for this is that it's free, first of all. It's already in the exact right size so that it's not going to be too big once you go to YouTube, for example, or your blog post. I know for a while when I first started, I would add in a thumbnail that I made on another third-party platform, and it never seemed to size up correct because the image was too big in dimensions and didn't fit the standards of YouTube. So when you use something like Canva, you know they already have the sizing set up perfectly depending on what platform you are making imagery for. So let's say I want to create a Instagram My Story image. So I'm just going to go back to home. Look at all this. There is so much you can do with this platform. So let's say, again, I just mentioned Instagram stories. So if you go to the social media tab, Instagram, look at that, Instagram story. So that means, again, the template right here is in perfect size with a Instagram My Story size. So I can add in, look at all these different options. Some of these are only available if you pay for Canva Pro, but to be honest with you, I've used Canva for 3 years now, and I personally have not yet had to use Canva Pro. I do know there are some really cool functions of it. For example, you can download a PNG version of a photo with Canva Pro. So there's just a few more available templates that you access with Canva Pro. But if you are on a budget, like I know many of us are, I would recommend just the free version. And if you decide you do want to hire someone for creating your branding images or your logo, for example, I would definitely recommend hiring someone to do that because there's only so much you can do on Canva, and if you are not a logo artist, that can be really tricky. And you can actually make logos with Canva, very basic ones, but as far as logos go, I would recommend a professional to do that. I got an amazing logo artist to do mine. Her name's Savannah, and I will actually link her Instagram account in this video so you could check it out. But all in all, you get so many options with Canva. I mean, let's say you like this background for a My Story. You can change out the photos. You can change out, let's say I want to delete those. So let's say I wanted to add a photo into this spot after I just deleted those template ones. If I add this here, that means whenever I place an actual photo in here, it's going to be that circle size. So I can do all sorts of different sizes. I can do this size, I can do this, and the image will crop itself into that basic framework template. So that's a really cool way to add in photos in a very specific frame. Like let's say you have a cool, iPhone tutorial, like aesthetics for your iPhone, and you want to have a little cover photo, you can actually add a photo into this exact template, which makes it look really clean and professional. So this photo tab right here has tons of free, royalty-free photos that you can incorporate wherever you need to in your images. So this one's really pretty. It's very fall-like. So I clicked on it, and look, if you just kind of move it around, it will go directly into that iPhone looking framework. Let's say I want to get rid of that. Look how pretty and fall this looks. That's kind of a cool font in the background, very artsy, very historical looking. So I can even change the size of this, and it's going to change it all. The background's already connected to this iPhone little frame. And after that, you can even add in another photo on top of that, or text. Let's say you want to have a really cool quote right here. Go to the text option, and you can do a big templified heading size font, or you can do subheading, even just main smaller body font text. So that's really nice for like PDF documents if you create a really custom, let's say, portfolio or media kit for your branding partnerships. You can already have that size made and just click on this over here and it'll already be set up, so you can just start typing, which is a lot easier than having to size it up every single time. If you know right here, and right here in your media kit that you need that H1 really big font, you can just click on it and it will go there. And right here, of course, you can change out the exact numerical number size of your font, the type of font that you use. I kind of like this Garamond font, so I'm going to get rid of that. Let's see. I'll go back to the heading, and I'm going to change this to be Garamond font. So I'm going to type in hello fall, and let's say here's the Garamond. That's really pretty. Let's see. I can even add effects here and make like a shadow on it, or kind of like a lift. I can make it look hollow, some space. You can do so, and again, this is the free version of Canva. This is not even a version you have to pay for. So let's see, I'll do this lift version, and I want to make it a little bit bigger. I'm just playing around to show you an example. And this is, again, in a My Story size photo. So when I go over here after I finish all of this and download it, that's going to go straight to my computer, or if you're on your phone on the Canva app, it will download to your phone. And that's just really easy. You can do different sizes. So it often suggests PNG, but that is a size that you do need Canva Pro to download. JPG, you have PDF standard, print, GIF size, even video, even little video GIFs you can incorporate on here and download that with free Canva. So I'm going to go with this version whenever I finish, but let me just size it up. Maybe I want to do it like this. You just play around with it and make it look however you want it to look. But this is a great example of if I wanted to have a really clean template to all my stories, I can use Canva for that. If I wanted to have a really clean, templified look to my blog post, which I do, I can use Canva for that and have it basically already made in my design like I showed you earlier. So if I go right here really quick, see, all my designs are saved. So that allows me to kind of go back and go to the exact same image, maybe change it up a bit, and then re-download it to go on a new blog post, for example, or a new YouTube video. And what's really cool about Canva is it also has a bunch of little learning tutorials that really help you gain even more clarity and fun ideas and inspiration for your content. So I found that to be really helpful when I started out, just getting some cool ideas from really creative people who love to try out something new and love to just hop on softwares and see how they can benefit each of us. And back on the home page right here, if you know something very specific that you want to design, maybe it's logo, animated logo, t-shirt logo, all this stuff, you can actually search that in their search query. So let's say I want to pick animated logo. I go here, and this is what I was mentioning a second ago with the GIF when you download it, that you can actually get moving animated logos. So here's several right here. Let's see, which one do we want to look at? Maybe this one right here. And you can customize this a bit as well. See how it kind of does the little twinkle right here. You can even go right here and watch it play just to get like a little preview of what it will look like. And of course, download. If you're ready to download it, you just push. It's very animated, the buttons, as you can see in Canva. They're really clear. They're really just in your face, not kind of hard to find. So I love that about this platform. So let's say I want to change the amount of time that it twinkles. See how it gets a little bit slower or faster, which is really cool that you can do that much animation. And I will say that that has advanced in the time that I've started using Canva. These little tweaks and changes that they've made with animation techniques is new. So if you hop on this right now, there is a plethora of opportunity that you can use right now and then moving forward with your creative online efforts. So let me go back to, let's see, uploads. So here's where you can actually drag and drop images from your phone, your computer, wherever, into Canva itself. So these are my own images that I've brought in that I've used for, consulting with my clients, with my branding, with my videos, any photo that I want to add a little imagery or text to. This is the platform that I utilize. And as well, right here in folders, you can actually create folders that are really custom to different creations that you make. Maybe it's YouTube thumbnails, maybe it's Instagram stories, maybe it's Instagram infographics to post in your feed post, maybe it's YouTube video thumbnails, anything. You can create separate folders to keep that really organized, which is actually a new function that is, again, I did not have when I started out, so I'm excited that you have this utilizing Canva now. And right here, I haven't really showed you much of this. These are tons of little elements, photos, cartoons you can add in. Let's go back to my templates really fast, and I'll show you an example of creating maybe an Instagram post with these fun images. So let's go right here. I think I'm going to go with, let's see, this one's really pretty and minimal. So I can change the text here to say something different. Obviously, I can change out this image. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to go to photos. Let's see, these are photos that Canva gives us. So let me go to uploads for photos that I've uploaded. Find this and look at that. It goes right in the same spot where the previous photo was. I can change the color to be more on brand, which is really easy to do. Okay, let me change, change up this color to be something else, maybe my gold color. So as you can see, you can just change it to be whatever colors you want that makes sense for your project you are working on. So right here, I'm going to change it up to say, let's see, balloon where you're planted. And I can change up how long it is to kind of center it, depending on what the style looks like. And I can even make this underlined. Some fonts do not allow you to maybe bold or italicize. This font's an example of that. But maybe I change it to that Garamond font that I like. And this one does allow me to italicize, which is really artsy and pretty, so I kind of like that. Center it up. Another thing I love is how Canva will basically notify you once something's centered. Like, see how this line's popping up, and even like that, really to get everything spaced out correctly, which is really awesome for looking clean and put together with your infographics. So now back to elements that I was just at with you. I'm going to search fall elements. These elements change all the time. They're seasonal. They have stuff that's trending maybe that you can incorporate in these little fun images. It's literally endless, the number of elements you can add to your photos. There are so many royalty-free images on here. It's amazing. So let's see. Maybe I'll say fall season. Again, I'm doing this since, depending on when you're watching this, it might be a different season, but right now it is the start of fall. So I'm kind of in that fall vibe right now. So I'm trying to see if there's a really cool fall photo that I could add in. Let's see. Maybe I'll just do the leaves. Now, of course, I'll change up the background. If I were to do these leaves, I probably wouldn't have all these dots back here. I'd probably just delete them, which is really easy to do and make it a little cleaner and less cluttered. But the point is the customization is incredible. I can rotate it. I can, like you just saw, change the size. I could flip the direction that it goes, maybe flip it vertically. I can crop it even if I want to change the size, which I wouldn't do this, but if I wanted to, it would look like that. And if you make a design that you later decide you don't want, all you have to do is go with this back arrow and look, it allows you to basically refresh what you just did to go back. And as you see, when I typed in bloom where you're planted, it actually labeled this particular graphic with that. So if I don't want it to say that, or maybe I want to add to it to make it more clear, bloom where you're planted. Let's see. Instagram info graphic. So you can edit what that actually is named. It's kind of like saving stuff on your desktop. You want it to be with a really clear name, so when you're searching for something, it's not like you're going through a bunch of 12, 25, 72 EFG, titles or something ridiculous. You have it really clear with exactly what the content is about, so it's really easy to keep up with within your Canva platform. So I've given it that title. So when you go back home and go to all your designs, you're going to now see, this one's actually still generating because I just developed it, but this is where that new image we just created will go. So really easy to find later on if you decide, wow, I really liked that photo with the style that it had that I made 3 weeks ago for Pinterest, for a Pinterest pin, for example. You can actually find that really easily by going back in your designs and seeing where it was saved with the really keyworded name. So Pinterest pins is another huge thing that I've used this for. If you scroll down here, you'll see examples of some. This is an example of a Pinterest pin that I've made. And with Pinterest, you want your pins to be really bold and something that's going to pop and make people want to click through it. So it's kind of hard to make pins with smaller third-party apps. I've definitely learned that the hard way, but Canva is a really easy spot to add in really consistent imagery, consistent font that gives your Pinterest pins a brand of their own that actually meshes well with your own personal brand. So this is a really pretty style that's very fall-like, and yeah, I'm glad this did this. So if I want to add multiple pages to one project, you can do that. I've added a whole nother page here, which was because I clicked this image and it wanted to know if I wanted more than one page. So let's say I wanted to get rid of that. I just click on it and click the trash, and there it goes. Let's say I wanted to create a duplicate of this page. All you have to do is click duplicate page. You can even erase it, or you could duplicate it multiple times. If maybe you have a PDF document that you're creating with multiple layers of pages to it and you want them all to have the same background, you can literally create that first cover page and then copy it over and over again and then go back in. Let me show you, for example. You can literally copy it over and over again like I just did there. I'm going to keep that first page like it is, but maybe on the second page I want to get rid of all this text and just keep the background there. That way it's all consistent. Maybe I want to keep my website name there. That works too. So as you can see, you have that cover page and then you have the same exact background on each. You can just go through and delete all this and just go on down and keep going to make your template all consistent and all in unison with each other. And this can be really helpful for you if you're creating a media kit to keep it all really, really on brand and pretty and aesthetically pleasing as well. Something else that's very new with Canva is the ability to actually publish straight to Pinterest from Canva. I personally love Tailwind because it allows you to automate all your pins, but at the end of the day, this is a really cool feature and it's really convenient. So up here you see publish to Pinterest, and the reason why it's giving me this notification is because I'm actually developing a Pinterest pin template. So it knows, hey, this user is developing a Pinterest pin, maybe they want to publish this directly to Pinterest from Canva. It just alleviates having to utilize so many third-party barriers and actions to creating the result that we want. So I'm going to click Publish to Pinterest. I've already connected my Pinterest to my Canva account. So if you have not done that, it's going to allow you to grant access to Canva to access Pinterest. But then I'll choose which board I want to share this to, and it's actually connected to all my Pinterest boards. So once I choose a board, it's going to go directly to that board and allow me to then customize it. Let me just search for it. Pinterest tips for bloggers. Okay, so this is where I will title the pin, add the destination where I want this pin to click through to. So I do have a blog post about this. So let's say I wanted to go to that blog post. I'll of course type in my website link and the direct link to that blog post. So when someone clicks on it from Pinterest, it takes them there. So then I'll add a title. You add your title for your pin. You add which page you want to go onto Pinterest. Obviously, I showed you in this tutorial multiple pages that you can create, but if it's just a Pinterest pin, you probably just have that one image going onto Pinterest at one time. So page 1 is what I'll pick. I'll title it, add a description, and then publish. So I hope that was encouraging. If you are struggling to get your Pinterest consistent, this is a really, really cool free way to do that. Something else really fast, this background option, there are so many cool backgrounds that you can use. For example, something really popular that I have seen is, you know how you get snooze notifications on your phone? Well, it will look like that really simple white minimalistic box with a motivational quote or a tip, and then that box will be on top of some really pretty background. So Canva has tons of backgrounds that you can choose from. Even solid colors that kind of blend into each other. See how it kind of shimmers and molds in a little lighter or darker, kind of like an ombre look. That's really cool because that's frankly very difficult to make on Photoshop, for example. And a lot of us just do not have time to do that. So we want simple, quick results. I can even type in, let's see, if I type in autumn backgrounds, it did give me one. There's an autumn background. You can even change up the color scheme. This is actually because I had a background solid color and then a photo on top of that, and then I kind of faded away that main photo so that it kind of blended together. So that's why you're seeing here that orange popping up, because I just changed the background to orange when it was white. So look, if I go back to white, it looks just like it used to be. So it's really fun to be able to layer on top of each other and do the layering here with text to kind of make it pop more. And a couple last minute details, if you ever need help with Canva, they offer some really nice help. You can push this help box and actually get guides to Canva, report an issue if you're having one, ask questions about billing. They're very user friendly, which is something that I really appreciate. And one last thing, if you want to share a link to, let's say, a document you created or a PDF file you created, you can actually create a link to a specific project you've worked on. So, for example, one of my clients, she created a media kit. So as I was auditing her media kit, I was able to do that because she created a link to her Canva where she made her media kit based off instructions I gave, and she made a beautiful kit that I could then look through by way of receiving her link. So I received a link via email directly to that media kit she's working on within Canva. So that is a really cool networking function of Canva, that you can actually share stuff you're working on with other users or other creators or business partners. So love that function. Okay, so if there are any questions you have more with Canva, I know we kind of covered a lot of different things here and there, but I didn't want to dive in too heavily with too much detail, because if you are first getting the hang of Canva, it can be a lot of different abilities, which can be overwhelming. But if you have any questions about it, please drop a comment below. That is what I'm here for. That is why I create these videos for you, so that you can get feedback, advice, and not feel alone in your creating endeavors. Okay, I hope at this point you've learned at least a little bit about how to utilize Canva, why it can be really beneficial for your business, and what's even more amazing is, of course, that it's free. They do have a paid version, but the free version is amazing. I've been using it for the past few years, and it's just been incredible for having a one-stop spot to create my visual content and my branding content as well. If you're on a budget, Canva is an option, but at the end of the day, it's always worthwhile to invest in a logo designer because, of course, they are professionals, and let's be real, we are not the masters of it all. So it's really important to invest into your business and be willing to invest in those professionals, because it's their business too, and we are just here, small business women, supporting each other. I loved making this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did, and if there are any more softwares that you want to see on this channel, I'd be happy to share those with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Besos.